We should be live right now. Ugh. Alrighty. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check, 1 2. Give me a second here, folks. Just need to do something real quick. Alright, so for whatever reason, I don't know why, but I am listening to some royalty-free bullshit music as if else I'm gonna get cut off during the live stream, and it runs song after song for whatever reason pretty well, no delays. But once I flick the go live button, it just stops, and I need to press on every song every time. It is pretty annoying. Anyways, a couple things I want to tell you guys. If you have seen my video from yesterday, you've seen that I added a picture at the thumbnail. That I'm right now in Hanoi, that's North Vietnam, and last weekend, so that was 2 days ago, we had a incredible typhoon coming over, and that's my third one now that I experienced, and I have to say that the previous two, they were a little bit weak, they were a little bit pussy. It was actually just a lot of rain and some wind and nothing too crazy. So when I heard, oh, there's a typhoon coming over, I thought, okay, here we go again. Entire country's gonna get locked up, and then there's not a whole lot going on, and eventually the day after everything opens up again, and we just continue our life as normal. But now the city was really in the eye of the storm, and the day, so it was, what is this, that Saturday, I think, yeah, Saturday afternoon, still went out, and I thought, well, it's kind of raining right now, but still okay. We went to the supermarket, came out, and the wind was blowing like crazy. It was insane. Trees were slowly falling over. People were blown off their motorbikes. I was like, alright, now we're getting serious. Took a taxi home, and actually from that moment on, just absolute fucking chaos. Just mayhem. And didn't leave the apartment anymore. Next day, walked out, and I just saw total destruction everywhere. It was insane. Roofs were blown off. Over 2,500 trees fell over in the city. Some of these trees were there already for hundreds of years. These trees fell on buildings, it smashed windows, cars. Just a fucking war zone. Insane. I have never seen something like this. I know I only have seen it from TV and stuff like that. We're like, oh, that looks pretty bad, you know, but it's always kind of, you cannot really resonate with it because it's always so far away. It's in a country that you've never been, people that you've never met, and they're like, yeah, okay, it looks bad, but other than that, you can't really resonate with it. And then now you're right in the middle, and also parts of the city, there was no power anymore. I mean, the worst thing that happened to me is that the Wi-Fi was off for 2 days. That was it, but other than that, nothing. So I guess I guess I was lucky, but yeah, this it's crazy, pretty insane. Other than that, I am also sipping a iced cappuccino, and man, let me tell you, they use an app here called Grab. It's almost the same a bit like Uber. You can just order your food, your drinks, your taxi, kind of all in one app, and they use it here in a lot of Asian countries. And always when I order something, you can apply a discount, and I always just took. You have like a couple discounts where you can choose from, and then I always just chose the one with the highest discount and then continue. Turns out you can apply all of these discounts. So for I don't know how long I've always been paying way too much. I should have applied always all the discounts, and probably always all of my food and drinks were like half price. But yeah, now I just thought, hey, what if I flip it on again? And then I just had another discount, and now I have an iced coffee that's like half the price of what it usually should have been. And man, I have ordered a lot of coffees in my life already, and a lot of food also, because sometimes I'm just working, and I don't even have time to go out. So then usually I order food like once or twice, 3 times a week if I'm very busy. So yeah. All right. What I want to say is that we're gonna keep today's live stream at and about around an hour, because again, I have stuff to do. I want to look at the Bitcoin chart. Of course, we're going to look at some altcoins, and what else? Yeah, I think that's it. Just Bitcoin chart and some alts. Maybe we'll look at the S&P 500. Funny, if you have watched yesterday's video, then you know that but this is exactly what I mean. Music is gone. Are you freaking kidding me? This is so childish. Flip that fucker on. I think something's interfering with this. I think it is because we're live streaming something with OBS. I have no idea what the hell it is. Okay, anyways, so yesterday's live stream, I said to you, don't get too bearish, because if you're getting bearish here, you are shorting the bottom, and you want to short the tops along the bottoms. And this was our wick from Friday night, Friday evening, weekend price action yesterday. So it actually turned out exactly as I said. I said, it's kind of looking good. Also, yesterday I remember this very clearly, that I said in the live stream, we were somewhere, was it here? No, wait, it was Monday already, so it must be somewhere here, I think. And then I said to you, well, I've seen this actually a lot of times, that it looks like it might want to do one of these, but then suddenly you see some bullish price action, and it's like full joke, whoop, and now we're going just higher. And that's actually also exactly what now happened. You are kind of waiting for a rollover again, but you already tapped the most important level, and now you can see that the price is just going higher. Let me take this out, because I'm gonna point out a couple of things. As of for now, the 4 hour, so this white line right here is the 60 line, is kind of battling with the 60 line. Above the 60 line is actually bullish. Some people say that's overbought, and here it's oversold, but actually it is relatively bullish, because usually once you cross that line, you stay there for a little bit and you make an extra couple humps. So I want to be all too bearish. The only thing is that the RSIs are split, and actually you want to have them tight together, that signal strength. This could be an inward cave, and also inward curved, and also this actually for the money flow looks relatively good. So I know there are right away people betting on making a lower low and waiting for a very clear bullish divergence on a 4 hour. So that would then look like something like this, that you make one more move and then you go higher. I get it, but actually you already had your bullish divergence from these lows right here. And yes, the money flow was actually not coming up at the moment that you printed this green dot, but you do have, other than that, actually your signals all in place. And I also said yesterday, careful now, if we're printing a green dot on the daily, you're most likely going to see some upward price action in the next couple days. Da 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 da, we printed a green dot. So I wouldn't get all too bearish at this price level. And yesterday I also gave you two long trades, and as you can see, we are right now at that level that could be a potential long trade. Let me do something real quick again. Alright, cool. By the way, we changed the music for today, so we're doing something else, some different music every live stream. So let me know in the comments if you like this, if you like other music, if you want to see certain stuff. So then just let me know. We're more than happy to show you, let you listen to it, or whatever you guys like. Alright, cool. So I have set two long trades. One is a back test here of that macro value area low. That is this one. So that's this trade. And the other one would be a back test of this low right here, where then flipped in support and resistance. So there's a back test of that yellow line. Well, still both of them could be in play. So you could still have your back test like this, or you have the back test that's already in the chart like this. I would be slightly careful with the second. If this is very bullish, then actually you don't want to see price going all too deep. Let me also quickly, so you guys are not seeing it, I can take this out. Let me also quickly draw in a fib retracement, and I'll also clean up the chart a little bit because it's getting slightly ugly. Let me just move this. We're not going to see those levels anytime soon. This price level could still be a thing. And another S&P from this, I'm also going to take it off because I actually want to see them much lower. Okay, cool. So this is kind of what we then keep on the chart. Here one, and this is one. Yeah. And actually, I'm also going to take this one off because I now hit the 78.6. That was the one in the weekend. It also showed you already yesterday, right? So this is then kind of what we are having. High volume node, also reclaiming that. I'm going to keep it, have it on the chart because actually it was so nicely respected. You can also see here on the 4-hour candles, it actually looks pretty nice. I'm thinking, what do I want to see? Let me think here for a second. Yeah, I kind of have an idea. So okay, if you, let's say you would go lower here, right? You do something like this, and then you go higher. The thing is, you kind of bounce off this 0.5. But also, if we would have your fib tool like this, then it is the golden pocket. So you kind of have a double confluence, and also you're keeping all of these lows right here intact. So if I then zoom in quickly on the 1 hour, then you can see you have these lows right here and you keeping them intact. That is actually quite nice, because if you do go lower than this, you kind of get this liquidity run kind of idea, and you're taking all of that out. So this is for me then the must hold area. 55, let's call it 55 until, so it starts off then of course from 55,500 till 55k. 55,500 to 50k, 55k, excuse me. That is actually the must hold area. Would we go lower again? Oh, sorry. Would we not go this deep? Then I am still looking for a bounce of this level that I just pointed out. Right, that was this low right here. But I want to see something here at these lows. So something that we could do, but I think that the likeliness of this playing out is that if we are going lower, we're going to hit the level, and then you are seeing something like a bullish divergence. That could be nice. So price is doing really something like this, and then you enter the long trade. You can have that on a 12 minute, 24 minute, 15 minute. Doesn't really matter. I would prefer a few time frames to lining up. The only thing is that a lot of these time frames are now showing this, where you kind of see the 15 minute, also here the 12 minute we saw it. You see that lining up, oh, sorry, you see that kind of rolling over 12 minutes already in the red, right? You kind of see that like this. And then we have the 24 minute. Let me check that real quick. Yeah, it could be both ways. Could be both ways. I wouldn't mind seeing something of a retracement actually. Yeah, same story, right? It's all kind of the same story. Okay. So something like this, at least, could be a nice long trade or a long trigger if you're still bullish. I actually think that we can still head higher because of that print on the daily. So we could even have a red day today, but still eventually go higher tomorrow, or already building up a nice bottom at the end of the day. That as soon as you have the new daily open, that right away price goes higher. Yesterday, in the quick update that I gave you, also told you about a liquidity run that you can have, and that was all of these highs. Therefore, I kept this now in. And so yesterday we took some of it out, but not everything. And actually, where really the fun starts, so this is where price stopped. Well, I can tell you that is not a coincidence. That is very much engineered on purpose. So now you're having these lows here, 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 and this one right here. Now really I think if we're going to take out this high, you're going to take out the rest, absolutely. So then you're really getting a big squeeze. I also looked, by the way, at the order flow on this final move that we had, and that was a pure squeeze. So there was just positions closing. There were short positions getting squeezed out of their stops, and that was kind of what what caused this move to the upside. And here actually you can see that smaller support and resistance area, that blue bar that we had in, actually still pretty much respected. We got a little bit higher, but still pretty much respected. So there you can see that even all the levels actually play out still pretty nicely. Again, if we are now going higher, we are going to take out this high. I am not expecting something like this and then lower. I'm actually expecting just a very big move to the upside. I think for BTC, everything stands or falls with the S&P 500. Yesterday we had a pretty big move up for the S&P. Let me see if I just click on this, if I get a good chart. And this is on the daily, and the reason why I'm mentioning this is because this has been moving, Bitcoin has been moving really synchron on the ES, or at least in the S&P 500. The ES is the future market for the S&P 500. And if we're taking a look at the weekly right here, then you can see that last week was unexpectedly actually a pretty bad week. So 4% down, you can see it here on the top, 4% down for the S&P 500 in 1 week is actually really a lot. Sometimes, or a lot of times, that is somewhere hovering around 2.5% or less than 2%. I mean, if we're just looking real quick here, you see here 2.5, 0.5, 1.8, and what is this? 1.5, 0.5%, a bit more than 1%. 1.8. So you kind of have an idea of the averages here, and also the reason why this was relatively strange or relatively a surprise is because if you just look at the candle structure, then you see that this of course is a nice hammer candle. That was also a very nice bounce of a technical level. It went higher, very strong green weekly candle. You open here, you close almost at the top, and then the next week kind of the same, although the percentage move was not so big. And here the recovery on the last day of the week, this was of course a weekly candle, but you can see that we just closed the week pretty much at the top. So also here again a hammer candle, and we're very close to the all-time high. So it makes a lot of sense that last week would then just take out at least the all-time highs and then maybe go lower, but that didn't happen. So it was pretty much right away after the open on Monday, our price just went lower, 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 and we had an absolute sell-off on Friday, and then we closed the weekly pretty bearish. Now that does not right away mean sell everything, we're going to zero, but it does say something that there is a pretty big sell-off, and that the quote-unquote big money or institutional money is going all cash on a Friday. Again, if I'm now zooming in here on the daily, that is this red candle right here, and they're just completely selling off. With that being said, if you then zoom back in on the weekly, this was yesterday's candle, right? This is yesterday's candle, this green candle. If you then zoom in back on the weekly, then you can see that first this Monday open first wants to go slightly a bit more towards the middle. What is that middle? I have no idea actually why I took it off here. It is almost half of this fair value gap that you have. So therefore I have a thick yellow line. So we're touching right now the middle, and we're kind of bouncing off. So if price were to reverse and we are going lower for the S&P 500, this is actually very much the place to do so, and it looks like we are just getting that rejection. Now, why am I showing you this? Look at that. Beautiful. And now we're rolling over. Maybe. If we reclaim it, I think we can have a pretty green week. If we're rolling over and this is going lower again, then we're definitely going to take out these lows. And then eventually I think also that we are going to hunt for these lows here on the daily. Close a daily candle. Whoops. First time for me behind the computer, folks. I think if we are closing a daily candle underneath these lows right here, starting to look actually pretty bad, because then you're really also changing your market structure to a lower low, and actually then you can hunt for a lower high to then again take it to a lower low. We'll cross those bridges once we're there, but for now I wouldn't be all too worried. But to get some more downward action, I wouldn't be all too much out of the ordinary. Usually also September, for the stock markets at least, is a little bit of a, or a little bit, it is a red month most of the time. So if we would see a drawdown for this month of somewhere between 3, 4, 5, 6%, in stock market terms, that's already quite some, and then we can maybe pick up the rally again in October, and then go out on the high in December. That's also usually what you see, highest point in December. So I wouldn't be all too afraid right now. But the reason why I'm explaining you this in detail is because if the S&P 500 is going to roll over today and we're going lower, I actually also think that eventually BTC is going to roll over, and then the whole plan from we are going higher and we are going to get this liquidity run or whatever, I think then the chances are just shrinking quite some. And then also in that same case, the bears are still on the right side, because your market structure, what we have been pointing out already a billion gazillion times, is still being respected, right? We have lower highs and lower lows. So if we would retrace from here again to, for example, again low, then still your market structure is in play. I don't know. I think at some point, we are just so damn oversold. It is absolutely insane, and people usually get the most bearish at the bottom. I know that a lot of people are looking at the monthly returns for Bitcoin, and we also did that in the previous live stream. And yes, usually September is a red month, but the fact that everyone is so bearish right now and that everyone is calling for 40k and I don't know what, that makes me believe that actually we can go a little bit higher. If you remember in the last live stream, I said that this candle itself here on the monthly actually looks bullish. We opened up and we spent barely any time above the open, but we actually right away went lower. So if you then go lower and this monthly candle has almost no wick in the top, usually then price reverses, you go higher to create a wick, and then you close the candle. So you make a high and a low, and you close then somewhere in the middle. And some of these wicks, they're a little bit higher or bigger or lower than some of the others, but you can see here from all the candles that they actually all have a wick on the top and the bottom. Now you would say right away, yeah, but this candle right here actually, like previous month, had only a little bit of a wick on the upside, barely in the bottom. Yeah, I get that, but statistically speaking, this actually still should go higher. I'm not saying right away we're closing the month here at the highs, but statistically speaking, it would make a lot of sense actually for us to go a little bit higher, and that could be then fueled again by a green dot on the daily, by maybe some good news. Ooh, by the way, talking about that before I forget it, most important day actually this week is tomorrow. Tomorrow we have CPI, inflation data, United States. That is a very important day, because if the inflation is still coming down as expected, then I think maybe a 50 basis point rate cut might be in the cards. That is, was it 19 September or something, 18 September, I don't know exactly. Then there's a new FOMC, and then they will also of course announce the rate cut. If inflation is coming down 0.2%, I think that they're estimating, then there is a base to say, you know what, maybe we should do 0.5%. When the interest rate is coming down, then money is always flowing around. Money is always looking for a return. So then the return on savings or on bonds is lower, and therefore usually you see a rotation to risk assets, as in stocks and crypto and whatever. So historically speaking, if the interest rate is coming down, you're seeing that stock markets are going up, and I think that's also what will happen now, that once they start cutting the interest rates and they're starting off with a 0.5 in 10 days from now, that I think we can see a huge move to the upside. So that is a huge driver, but again, that is in approximately 9 or 10 days or something from now. But then the first important indicator is then for tomorrow CPI, 1 hour before New York open. Super important. Keep an eye on that. If inflation is bad, or it barely moved, or it didn't come down, or even went higher, then I think 0.25% will be the interest rate cut. But I think it's like 50-50 right now from the amount of participants who are then quote-unquote participants, the people who can fill in these questionnaires, who think that it's going to be 0.25 or 0.5. Alright, enough about rate cuts and all that kind of crap. Let's look at, you know what, before we're going to look at some altcoins, I just want to show you one more thing. Yesterday I did take a trade on Bitcoin, and the reason why I didn't post it on Twitter is because the likelihood of this playing out was not so high, and I didn't want to post a trade and then you guys get stopped out and then everybody gets mad and then it's like, oh my god, you're such a loser. It was a very risky trade, so therefore I thought, okay, let's just let it run. We had, if I'm not mistaken, a daily open right here, and we went down once. We spent some time here. I longed here, and then we actually bounced off VWAP. Also, the reason why this was a tricky trade is because you have VWAP on just the daily VWAP just above, and it is actually a very bad idea to long right into that VWAP. You actually first want to see a reclaim and then to go higher. But since we were not breaking down already for almost, what is it, 15 minutes or 20 minutes, we're right now on a 5 minute, I was like, you know what, let me just give it a stab. And I entered the position approximately here, put the stop loss approximately there, and we once went higher, then we came down and thought, oh god, I'm gonna get stopped out. Alright, but then suddenly we started moving, and I have to say I was a little bit surprised about the squeeze up, because it was not so much fueled by a lot of new positions opening. It was really a bit of a weird mix between what was going on, like new position opening, positions closing, and I don't know what. And eventually I actually closed out the entire position, because this area right here, it is a little bit in the middle of nowhere. So at the beginning I was thinking, shall I just let it run? put my stop loss to entry and just let it run, but the chances for us to come back to this level, back testing it or whatever, is actually relatively high, because like I said, there's a little bit in the middle of nothing. If I would have longed right at a critical support area, the chances that price then will come back to that exact same area are relatively low. But if you long somewhere in the middle, then of course a price can go higher and go lower to maybe another critical area, stopping you out, and then to go higher. So therefore I thought, okay, if I don't take profit, I'm probably gonna regret it. It was not the most obvious trade. It was also something that had not such a high likelihood of playing out. So let's just take the profit. I went out right here at these highs. We had a small level there, but also didn't want to monitor it anymore. I was actually also expecting that we will roll over, so therefore I just took the trade here and closed it here. Again, sorry I didn't share it with you, but the reason was because the likelihood of this being a successful trade was just not so high. And eventually when I was asleep, then we also went higher again, and I think we even tapped the daily level, and then also this support and resistance, and now you can see that we're slowly going lower. For now, holding the VWAP. If you are very bullish, this actually is a good area to long. However, we're also a few hours away from New York Open. I usually like to wait until New York Open, because if you get a move during the London session, so that's the one that's going on right now. London opens their local time 9, and then New York opens approximately, what is it, 6.5 hours later or something. Usually the London session move gets undone or gets retested. So actually you also saw that yesterday. Let me see. So this is your London session right here, approximately. And then if you did not long the exact low but anything else, you would have got stopped out right here, right? So this would have stopped out everything that was long here if you put your stop loss right underneath. So only this area right here, and then we went higher. So there you can see that this is actually a prime example of how the London session gets undone by the New York session or gets retested. So therefore yeah, I usually like to wait, and sometimes you also see a complete reversal. And the thing is also with the London session, price is moving relatively slow compared to the New York session. I just don't like to monitor those positions for hours and hours and hours and hours just to see us to move up 1%, 2%, move stop loss, get stopped out, re-enter, I don't know what. Then I rather wait for the New York session and just yank it all in and be focused on that for a couple hours, then staring at the charts for hours and hours and hours and hours to come. So that will be it. So you could long now, not really my kind of trade, but actually it is completely valid. You need to put your stop loss then underneath the VWAP. Actually, I would put my stop loss here, and then you could target the current high that give you a 1-to-1, or actually the high that we made yesterday. So the reason why I'm mentioning this is because you then you're putting it underneath these lows, right? So price could do something like this, but if we're really taking out these lows, not the best, not the best. You like if actually I also have your golden pocket here. Yeah, actually you could also have an FU where you do go lower and then you're taking out these lows, hitting their golden pocket, and then to long. That will be something I would do. Therefore I'm saying I wouldn't long at this current level. And also maybe we're just completely retesting all of it and then to go higher during New York Open. But yeah, this could be a trade, but definitely not something that I would be trading. Okay, cool. Let's look at a few alts. How long are we streaming already? ING or engine. What do I want to show you here? Yeah, I want to show you here, by the way, yesterday that we're building up some liquidity here underneath. But if we're zooming out here on the monthly, damn, I am all over the place today. Holy crap. So this on the monthly, you can see that all the liquidity is taken. That is probably what I wanted to show you. I have such a bad preparation, unbelievable. I don't know what's going on today. And there's not a whole lot of liquidity underneath us, but there is more liquidity above us. So therefore, I'm also leaning towards more bullish. All right, bye. Alrighty. Right, ING or engine, or however you guys want to call it. I'm bullish on this. I own it. Have some spot. I think this could be an absolute runner. It usually has pretty big moves. Looks pretty good. This in itself, if I needed to draw like kind of a liquidity grab or something for Bitcoin, it's always like this, and then whoop, and then higher. And it looks exactly the same as what you see here right now. Look at this, whoop. So actually this looks good, and also this rounding bottom idea here of this whoop. It's just bullish. It just looks very nice. White line, fat line is the VWAP. You can see it's very much respected, but right now this is a very exact moment is just holding as support. So yeah, actually looks good. Also, you know me, I talk about liquidity over and over and over and over again, because that is the driver of the market. These highs right here. Wait, let me just make this a little bit bigger for you guys. Whoop. So this actually is still very nice liquidity for the grab. This could be absolutely a take profit. Could you enter here? Yeah, but then you need to put your stop loss underneath these lows. Take profit here, there's a 1.5. That is not enough, at least not for me. You could also aim for these highs, but I would then do the following. If you say, you know what, I am really aiming for these highs and if you still want to long, let's say you want to long here, wait until we reach the level, then move your stop loss to entry. If you get stopped out, so be it. But this could be a short that we just want to do this, whee, and then we're going down. If not, then you know, if we're getting something of a retracement, then at least you're not losing any money, because like I said, this could also be a short, right? You're going higher, you take the liquidity off this, and then you're just dumping down. But that is what I would do, and then you can hold it, because then you do have a nice 1 to 5 risk to reward. $100 in, $500 out. And also here, actually on the Market Cipher B, this actually is exactly what you want to see. If you are bullish, this is what you want to see. Look how the money flow is nicely curving. Also the momentum waves, very nice. This is above the 60 line. This looks sexy AF. Matter of fact, I'm gonna see after the stream if I can get into an entry. Also here, this also just looks good. Everything's just pointing up. Yeah, this looks nice. This looks nice. Let me check the weekly. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, this doesn't look that sexy, but on a daily, yeah, actually looks pretty good. The fun really starts once you are taking out these highs right here, because then you're also really starting to change market structure. So if you do something like this, then you get a back test somewhere to a critical level, and then higher. That honestly could be a swing trade. Let me see if we also put in a volume profile what we're getting. Let me see. Ooh. Okay. We got a couple trades. You could get in where we are right now. Wait, I need to have that volume profile back in so you guys can see what I'm seeing. Okay, for ING, I have a couple of trades for you. Maestro, can I have some music? Alright, cool. So, Thick blue line, macro value area low. This is definitely going to be resistance. I mean, would you look at this? It was perfectly support and resistance already here in the past. So that is absolutely respect. I mean, look at this candle right here. Look at this. Look at this. Insane. Bam, 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 bam. $20. That is going to be super important resistance. That $20 also lines up with the golden pocket, as you can see. So you could try to long this Ponzi right here. You could also try to give it a short at the golden pocket. I'm actually pretty sure that this is going to give some kind of retracement. You can be optimistic and try to aim for the lows. The reason why I'm saying that is because market structure is still very much bearish, right? You have your high here, then you have a low, lower high, first, actually, so it's not still bearish. Yeah, okay, so first higher low, but if we would do something like this, then of course this is your lower low again. So sorry, I was misspoken right here. This itself, that the fact that you have a higher low is not a change of market structure. Once we're breaking this high, then you have your change of market structure, change of character, however people want to call it these days. But that is these highs right now. That is the most important level to be taken. So that is $23. $23. So, but this golden pocket that I just pointed out, it starts off from 1993 until 20 something. Yeah, I want to take it 4% more or less, because you know how these alts are. They are fucking wild. They is crazy. I always keep a much tighter stop loss than for BTC. For BTC, I can have a stop loss under like 1%, and for these altcoins, I usually have like 3, 4, 5% stop loss, because you can easily get wigged out of one of these scam wicks. So this could be a short then. If we would reclaim this level, it could also right away be a long trade. So you're then actually getting long from a bounce of that value area low, right? And then really you could shoot for the stars, because you're getting the acceptance within that value area. So principle would say, once you get in from the value area low, you're going to the point of control, maybe go a little bit lower, and then you're going to the value area high. So really you're getting a retrace of that entire level. But then you're really talking about a big swing trade that you hold open for a couple weeks. But hey, I told you already, for the next couple months I am actually pretty bullish. I think we're going much higher. So you want to search for entries on altcoins that give you a pretty good risk to reward, right? That your risk is not like 10% to the downside, but like 3, 4, 5, 6%, and then you reach your target, you take some profit, and just leave some on the table. Just let it ride in case you really are in a bull market, that you have a big chunk or a reasonable chunk that you still have open, and then eventually you see the market's picking up, and then you just go, and then just leave it on there for a couple weeks, and you can make insane amount of gains. All right. If I'm going too fast, let me know in the comments. So, long from the current level, but you need to put stop loss here underneath. This is a little bit of a tricky one. There's not really a clear support and resistance. Short from the golden pocket, value area low. Do we find acceptance within the value area? We're going lower. A bounce from that value area low. That's not the golden pocket, of course. The golden pocket right now is measured from this high right here to this low, back to the golden pocket. But of course, if you go in, then this fib pool is irrelevant for that trade. And if we go higher, we do not need to take out these highs first. We can also just stop here, then bounce from the very low, and then go higher. That really actually doesn't matter. But these are a few trades that you could take. If for whatever reason it is an ultimate FU again and markets is completely fucked, you could also take a short once we're taking out these highs. So you're really getting an SFP kind of trade. Let's say I'm completely wrong, we're going to a bear market, everything goes to zero and back to the McDonald's. Then you could still see if we are taking out this double top right here. That's something that's also really a liquidity grab. And then we're losing level, you get into the trade, you put your stop loss above the high, and you're just trailing it down. And actually also here, then eventually you can aim for these lows right here, because most likely you're going to make a lower low, but I will definitely take profit at that value area low, just in case you're wrong and you're getting that bounce to the upside. All right, so this a pretty dynamic trade, but the way everything is setting up right now for ING, it has a lot of potential for shorts and the longs. And you don't only have to focus on like, oh, we're going to 100k, yippee-ki-yay, never long. I get it, but just in case you are wrong, and just in case you're getting humbled by the market, make sure that you always have another plan. I always find it so ridiculous if people are just saying, we're going to, I don't know, 40k, and it has to happen, and this is the dump. This is the mother of all dumps. Once we go 2-3% down on Bitcoin, I mean, look at Capo, what a complete retard, constantly hammering on one certain price level, and then when it comes true, everyone needs to suck their dick and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so amazing. But most of these times, these people are wrong, and they're just missing out so many longs and short opportunities. Just because they're so focused on this one trade, on this one level. It is the most stupidest thing to do, because that train might never arrive, that level might never get hit, that setup might never play out. So therefore I'm always looking at a couple levels, couple trading setups. If something gets hit, if I see what I want to see, I'll pull the trigger on a long and a short. That also means that this trade might never get activated. That means that, let's say we're getting a crazy squeeze and everyone starts buying up and Elon Musk and blah 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 blah, and this just goes higher, and I see no rejection at all. Do you think I'm going to take this trade? No, of course not. But at least I was prepared for it. I had a reason that if I see what I want to see at this level with my confirmations, then I'm taking the trade. But if I don't see it, or I just don't see the confirmation, or we're just blasting straight through, I'm not going to pull the trigger. And some people then say, oh yeah, you're just putting in 4 trades, 5 trades, and you just then eventually you're always right. This is not a game of always being right. This is a game of probabilities. And if you have trading setups, if you have ideas, if you have structures in your trades, then eventually it is just a game of probabilities and numbers that your trading setups play out or they don't. So yeah, then eventually if you see, hey, always this very low really plays out for ING, there's a high likelihood, I am going to keep it on my chart just in case. Alright, that being said, with this rant of mine, let's look at Pepe. Do we have a, let me see, this is from another secret private chart. Let's look at the one from Binance. I have to say I'm very surprised about this, and the reason, oh look at that, some old secret TA, ooh. So we never got that bounce, okay. I have to say that I'm very surprised about how well this is behaving. I really expected that once BTC was coming down, this would just be completely sold off, and everyone would just dump this shitcoin. I bought a tiny bit just in case for these crazy meme coin runs, but yeah, I actually really expected that this low would have been taken out already, these lows would have been taken out already, and that we would be retesting some of these highs. But so far it's holding up very well. So yeah, a bit of a surprise, especially because this thing has just zero utility. It is literally a meme coin, you can't do anything with it, and the only reason why you buy this is because you hope in the future that there is someone who is stupid enough to buy from you from a higher price. That's all you're doing with these kinds of meme coins. There is no utility, but that is of course for a lot of these altcoins and crypto crap coins, is that people are buying it in the hope that somewhere in the future someone wants to buy it off them for a higher price, although they can't do anything with it. You know what I mean? They don't. With stocks at least you have something as a voting right, or you getting a dividend. But a lot of these altcoins you just don't have that. Alright, cool. With that being said, do we bounce off, or are we holding at a logical area? Yeah, we do, at the very macro golden pocket. But like I said, I actually expected that this low would have been taken out. That also right away could be a nice long trade. Let me also quickly look at something else real quick before I'm going to do it. We have one of these actually going on here. Yeah, so if you are a pattern trader, and that is completely fine, people sometimes always shit on pattern traders, but if you are a pattern trader, then it will not take long before it is decision time. These patterns usually break out at approximately 70% or from 70% on, 70 to 75% measured in time. So if you have, let's say, 100 days, that is the total pattern, and I'm always taking kind of the highest spot of the second spot. So I'm not then taking this, I am always taking this point right here, and then you would see that very most likely it will play out. So if you have 100 days, then somewhere between 70 and 75 days usually you see a breakout. So I think we are almost due for that. What is this? 140-ish, 140. So just bad after 100. Yeah, look at that. Just a bit after 100 days, you need to have your breakout. But since BTC is still pretty sideways, I think this can still take a little bit. Target if you are a pattern trader. I usually never trade these very large patterns because, I mean, we're on the daily. It took 3 months to create this. It will also take months to reach the target, but that will be slightly under $1. Nah, just kidding. It will be 0.00025 something. But if you would long here, you get at least 150%. So could be something. Like I said, I don't trade this. For me, it's too big. But what I would definitely trade is that if we're getting one more move to the downside to take that liquidity, then I would definitely try to long that. So do not get mistaken for something that I have in a spot portfolio or something that I actively trade. So then really a liquidity grab would be nice from the current lows, whoop, and this low, and then to go higher. That actually would be something that's pretty nice. Yeah. As you can see, actually the liquidity already is taken once. So you had this low, and then this low was ever so slightly lower, and then we went higher. So chances for this to play out actually are not so big. You do not see that a whole lot, that you have this SFP, and then eventually you go. It happens for BTC. For altcoins, I don't see it a whole lot. Jeez, what's going on here? Whoa. Like I said, first day behind the computer, folks. First day behind the computer. Damn. Everything that should work isn't working. Like our music, everything that I should not touch is being touched, like drawing tools and breaking stuff. Alright, so we have this one right here. If you take that bottom line out that I just had, some people also looking at something called a bump and run pattern, where you go out and then you kind of bump this once or twice, and then eventually you go higher, and then this right here is your entry. For this to play out, we're still talking about a couple weeks away, right? Because you first need to have your breakout, and then you retest 1, 2, 3 days, and then eventually you go higher. But that could be a trade, not really my cup of tea. And then of course you can short every high that we're taking. I would actually only take this one or this one right here, because these lows are relatively close to each other. So that would be then something like this. Yeah, I think this might work. But if we are really transitioning right now from a sideways market slash tiny bit of a bear market to a full-on bull market, these trades will be pretty short. So you're getting somewhere like 5 or 10%, and then you're going higher again. And then you're reaching this level, you're getting retrades 5 or 10%, and then you're going higher again. So it's absolutely tradable. It really is. And I would really wait then for a close of at least an hour or 4 hour underneath the level, and then we'll take the trade. But treat it as something that you're probably in only for half a day, full day, maybe 2 days, but then usually you reverse again, or at least you're making something a little bit of a bottom and then you go higher again, right? So there's not a whole lot of time. So don't treat these as swing trades, but take profit, move stop loss to entry, and then maybe take some more profit along the way. But most likely, yeah, like I said, once we're going higher, we're doing something like this, yay, yay, yay. So then actually you want to be positioned already from along here, or maybe from the bumper run pattern that we just talked about, and scale out of that position also on technical levels on the long sides, right? So that's how you can play both sides, the long and the short side, and you're always getting out at the most critical area technical levels, and not just because of based on sentiment. Alrighty, so this is then, whoa, this is then a short that I will take. That is this right here, and then this one, and you could try to take one here from the all-time high that we created. That will also, just like the other ones, most likely give you a scalp, be in there for a day or something. Again, folks, we're still on the daily. And other than that, in case we are getting, for whatever reason, a dump, and we're not getting a long trade from this level, you could also try to do exactly the same here. And then we already touched at 78.6, but let's say we would stay here then. But then I want to spend a little bit more time here than just 1 wick, because as you can see, this, yeah, thank you. This was just a single tap actually in the 78.6, a slight gray line here in your screen, and then we went higher. We did not really spend any time. No, of course not. So sorry. What am I saying? What am I saying? Because the high came in much later. Okay, sorry. So after the all-time high was created, we of course have not spent time here yet. So disregard what I just said. Sorry, erase. Okay, erase. So we could still do something like this, but yeah, most of these alts, they're starting to look actually pretty good, and that is also the story from this bull run, is that not only BTC is moving to the upside, but it's together with the alts, where in the previous cycles it was always the same. BTC moves up a lot, then you see ETH moving, and then eventually you see the alts moving, because first money goes to the major BTC, then people are taking their profits out, rotating that to ETH, and then ETH has a huge pump, taking money out, rotating it to alts, and eventually to meme coins and the most shitty ones on the list. And then eventually there's a kind of the end, and then you see this big dump. But now we have seen already a huge run for a lot of alts together side by side on Bitcoin. So it's like money is flowing relatively equal into the ecosystem, and therefore I'm also thinking, since now for a lot of these time frames it actually looks pretty good, I also wouldn't be surprised if again we see a run together with BTC. So BTC will run less fast or less high as it maybe did in the past, right? So there's those huge moves of 5% today and 6% tomorrow, and then 8% the day after, and then 2% retrace, and again 5% higher. I think that for BTC is not so likely, because the higher the price, the higher the market cap, and therefore you need more and more and more capital to push out those high percentages. So if you want to get something, if you want to get a high percentage return, most likely you will get it on trading altcoins with a smaller market cap. Now of course you have these scam wicks, you have these rug pulls, it's all part of the game, but yeah, that is what I think so far will most likely be the case. So like I said, a lot of these altcoins, actually I've been looking at a lot of them, they all look pretty good, and I think that we can see a pretty good move to the upside for a lot of them. Let me see, what else can we look at? Something that we haven't done last time, something that I'm actually also slightly bullish on, is Ondo. And then we are probably going to wrap it up, because I said approximately 1 hour. How long are we streaming for already? Hour-ish. Because I want to get some food, and I'm going to trade, of course, the New York session. Okay, so this is a new coin that has been launched. Let's just do what we always do, right? We are going to look at the fib retracement first. Let's get one of these in. looks pretty good actually. This looks. Yeah. I mean, look at this. What a beauty. Red line, point of control, most traded volume. Bounce once, bounce twice. Thank you. I didn't trade that, by the way. I didn't trade that. Okay, so for Ondo, not as strong yet as, for example, ING, what we just looked at. It still needs to reclaim and recover a couple levels, but we might be setting up for something nice. So, the absolute best scenario, what could happen right now, I'm definitely gonna trade that, by the way. Yeah, I am definitely gonna trade that. Okay, so the best thing that could happen right now is if we would go down one more time, and then, let me, by the way, send an alarm, because I'm definitely gonna trade this. Come on. If we would go down one more time, these lows are okay, rounding bottom are okay, but I actually would like to take it out. Take also out this low into the 78.6, get a bit of a liquidity grab, go above it, close a 4 hour above, or a daily would actually even be better, because mind you, we're now on a daily chart. Yeah, daily, so very important. And then enter the trade, put the stop loss underneath. I think then eventually we're going to breach this trend line that has been very much respected, as you can see. I mean, look at all the touches that we had here along the way. If we can breach it and we can close also a daily above, you already have your entry then here from the low, so you even have a little bit of a buffer, and then I would just hold it, because once you start reclaiming that level, I want to take this out because I want to be sure that you guys can see it. Once we start reclaiming that level and we go higher, and we're also reclaiming the macro value area low, so since the launch of this project, and remember, you are entering here, right? So you're already slowly building up that buffer. So you're entering somewhere, let's say here. You put your stop loss somewhere underneath the low, and once you enter, then I would just let it ride, because most likely then I think you're going to reclaim that point of control. You already had 2 taps. I think we're going to break it then, and then you will see something like this, and you can have a very fast move up, because this is just pure liquidity. Now, this is absolutely a swing trade, all right? So this will take weeks to play out, but if we can have one move down and then eventually going back to all-time highs, dude, you could squeeze out a 1 to 15. There will be $100 in, $1,500 out. 10x leverage that, you're walking out with 15 grand. So this could be a major trade. This will be the absolute preferred trade, and like I said, this can take weeks to play out, because mind you, it also took you 100 days to get here. So usually these moves to the upside, they go a little bit faster, especially when there are liquidity grabs, but this could easily then take 2 months at least to play out. But this will be the absolute preferred long, and therefore I also set an alarm. Most likely, very most likely, I will trade that setup. It is a little bit more tricky because you don't have a whole lot underneath. I also marked this low because actually you don't want to lose this low. There is just nothing more underneath. You're going to make new lows once you are losing this. So therefore I marked it as a yellow line. You actually don't want to lose it. That's, by the way, 38 cents. And the liquidity grab from this low right here is 50 cents, right? just so you know, currently very low. It's a 66. Currently very low, 66 cents. And this actually could be a very nice trading setup. Other than that, if you say I don't like these kinds of trades, I want to have a little bit more confirmation. I want to be sure that the chance of this playing out is slightly bigger than just yanking in a long here from the lows. Then you could, or let's say we're just not going down, then you could also wait for a reclaim of this and then to go higher. And you can also see that it was support once, twice, and then we lost it. Yeah, that actually is something that I would be doing. Let's say we would pump like crazy, then you could also wait for a reclaim of this, but then you're already, of course, much higher than from where we are right now. You're talking about 30%. This could happen in a week or so, but those are the other two options that you have for a long trade. So that is from this level right here, and that is a backtest from this level right here. These are the juicy trades right now. Waiting for reclaim of the point of control. I personally think would not do that. It's too high for me, and also I don't like long after point of control. But let's say you see this live stream somewhere in 2 weeks from now, you're way too late. This is then a nice entry. If else, waiting for the very low. If we go lower first, this can be a super juicy trade, and therefore I also set the alarm. Very most likely I will trade that. Shorts, the exact same, but then the opposite direction, and that is that. Let's say I'm wrong, we are not going to reclaim the point of control, we are seeing a big FU on crypto and everything is going to shit, then I would wait for again a retest, and then you want to see the rejection. So I would also here wait for a daily candle close again on that point of control, right? So then you see a rejection, wait for the candle close on a daily. That might be a bigger one, like you see right here, could be a few percent, so be it. But you want to have 100% confirmation that the chance of this playing out is quite likely. And then you could just enter the short, take profit, hit very low, and if else these lows right here. So that is the only close by short. Actually, there's one more, but that is could be a good short opportunity. And the other one would be if you are still bearish and you think this is going to roll over one more time or be going much lower because you think it's just a shit project, you could also take the short from the current value area low, where we are then, like I drew out here, where we are going to roll over right now. Stop loss is a little bit hard. I would probably put it above these two highs right here. These two highs. That's why I would put my stop loss, so you could enter right now. Personally, I wouldn't. Oh my lordy. No, okay, that's way too big. I want to say I personally wouldn't take this trade because so far the market looks. We're starting to look better and better, and we're starting to get more traction. So I would probably not take that trade. But this is at least something that you could do, and then you need to aim for new lows, at least. So you're getting almost a 1.2, or you're aiming for this low, and then you're getting your 1 to 2. Something you could do, but yeah, not really my preferred scenario. Alright guys, I am going to wrap it up because we're already live streaming for a bit more than an hour, and I wanted to keep it at 1 hour. So if there's anything you guys want to see for next time, just let me know in the comments. I'll be more than happy then to show you. Also, if you have any questions, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer them. I will be trading New York live. That's in a few hours from now, so therefore I'm not streaming at that exact time. I might do that in the future, that we're doing a New York Open live stream, but for now I'm also still busy with other things. So yeah, I'm then just trading myself. If I will take something like a more let me put it this way, if I'm taking a trade again today on Bitcoin, and a trade that has a higher likelihood of playing out, or has at least a better trading setup than what it was yesterday, then I will update you again on Twitter. So make sure that you follow me there. Link is in the description. And I also like to ask you to like and subscribe, because if you subscribe and you click on the bell and notification for all, then at least you don't miss future pop-ups for streams like this and for other videos that I upload. Thank you guys so much. See you in the next one. And yeah, that will be it. Thank you guys so much. See you. Love you. Bye.